Hello everyone, welcome back to GDC. Today we are going to make a Flappy Bird game in Scratch. So, let's scratch! Okay, so to start our Flappy Bird game, let's first name our project Flappy Bird. And technically it's a cat, so we're going to make it a Flappy Cat, okay? So first we're going to start off by deleting our sprite. Then we're going to find a new sprite. And it should come up in cat, and then you get the cat flying. Right, now this is gonna be our sprite throughout, okay? And now let's make it to a size 60, maybe to make it a bit smaller. Yep, that's good. And yeah, so now let's make our pipes for our Flappy Cat game. Let's go to paint, and then we're gonna get a square. And we're gonna make it green because that's what the natural color of them they are. So that's the top of our pipe. Then we'll make another one below, just like that. And yeah, oh, that's a bit. Well, yeah. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna just take this and we're gonna group it. Okay, once we group it, we're gonna just copy this, turn it around. Oh wait, let's just flip it vertical. And we're just going to put it right opposite that. Now, these two must be in the center, okay? Then we're going to duplicate this, select it again, maybe make it a bit up, duplicate it, select it again, maybe make it down. And say let's make it a bit more down. Right? So over middle, up, and down. Now you can see it's not quite centered. So first let's center it so that it's in the center. Now you can see that this is kind of like going down. So we have to just fix it to make sure that it fits in the screen. All right? And yeah, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start coding for our cat flying, and right after that we'll make our, actually, you know what, let's make our backdrops first. For our backdrops we're gonna have a level 1, a level 2, and a game over. So to make our level 1, let's choose the rectangle. Let's maybe do a gradient, because why not. We'll maybe do a red over here, and let's do an orange over here. So this will be our round 1. We will increase the size and maybe even change the font. Okay, now we will just name that to round 1. Then we will duplicate that. It's round 2, and let's make this round 2, and we can change our colors maybe to a blue to a purple, let's say. Yeah. Now let's duplicate this. Make it, let's maybe do, because it's a game over, let's make it kind of black, you know, because, oh, you died. So we'll make this maybe a black too, okay, and we can make this white and call it game over. I'll enter here. And if you want, you can center it as well. Yeah. Now what we're going to do is we are going to start coding our cat flying. So we're going to go back to code, and let's start off with coding our how it moves. So we want it to first press, every time we press space, it should jump, right? But before we do that, we are going to make our little code that helps us switch to start off our game. We have to switch it to the first cat flying costume and our first backdrop. And we also have to set our score that we're going to make in a second to 0 because we don't want it to start on another number. And we also want to position our cat. So let's start with that. Let's get our when flag is clicked. We're going to go to variables, make a variable called score. We're going to get set score to 0. Now we're going to go to looks. Going to get switch costume to cat flying A. Oops. And get switch backdrop to round 1. Oh, also, this should be named game over. Okay, now let's go back to our code. And yeah, now we will start putting our cat into its position. Let's make him maybe 120 and a 0. That should be good. Yeah, that's the position it should be in. Then let's start making our loop for our code to show how when this key is pressed, it should do this or do that. So let's start with a forever. Okay, let's get an if then and else. Let's get maybe an or, so that if they click the mouse or they click the space, they have either two options. So let's get our or, then let's do if key space pressed or if mouse down. Okay, then we should switch our costume to cat flying B, and let's say change the Y so that it goes up and down. Change Y by, let's say, 8. Okay, then we'll just take this out for a second, duplicate this, put this in that. As you can see, it's going up. Let's make this maybe minus, I don't know, 6. And yeah. Okay, that's our code for its code to our keys to make sure it moves properly. Okay, next. Now this is pretty simple. It's a one-line code. We're just going to get it to when the backdrop switches to our round 1. It should, let's say, it should show, because we want it to obviously show when it starts. Then let's say, let's make another one for backdrop for our game over. Let's say when it does this, it should hide. Let's make one for our round 2. So I don't know, it's just so we make sure there's no errors in the game. Okay, now let's make a code where if the cat drops to the bottom of the screen, it dies. Okay, so let's do this. Let's get when flag clicked. Okay, let's just zoom in a bit. When flag clicked, forever, if then, let's get maybe greater than. So if the Y position is less than, let's say negative, let's say 170, then we could switch to backdrop game over and we will stop all. Alright? So now that we have that done, let's move on to our score. How does our score work? Now, it's going to increase by 1 every single time, right? But to do that, we need to go first into our pipes for just a second. We are going to go into our pipes, get when flag clicked, forever, if then, let's say the X position is less than, let's say, X position less than negative 200. Let's broadcast a message called score. And let's wait a few seconds. Maybe let's wait 0.5 seconds. Okay, now we'll go to cat flying. Okay, and over here we will say when I receive score, change score by 1, and then let's get a sound to match it. So let's get maybe a coin. Yep, and we'll get play sound coin until done. There. Now we have our coins, our point setter. We need to say when it should win or switch to the next round, right? So let's make a score system for that. Let's get when flag clicked, forever, if then, let's do or, equal. The score is equal to 10 or greater than 10. Let's change that to 10. And we'll add our score. Switch our backdrop to our round 2. All right. Next, let's make a little sound in the background just to make it a bit more fun. Let's go choose a sound. Maybe let's go to loop so it lasts for a bit longer, so it's not just a little sound effect. Let's see, maybe we'll go to a video game. Yeah, this is quite nice. So we'll get video game 2. We'll get when flag clicked, forever, play sound video game until done. That's great. Now that we have actually all of our code done for our cat flying, let's move on to our pipes. Okay, now for our pipes, it's very simple. All we have to do is just make maybe, I don't know, let's say 6 or 5 lines of code. We've actually done one, so yeah, I guess 5. And that's all of them are very simple. So our first one is just going to be when the backdrop switches to a specific background. So if it switches to backdrop round 1, we should make it show. Obviously, we want the pipes to show. Let's duplicate that to round 2. And yeah. Or maybe we'll just actually forget round 2. We'll just make this hide. Now, let's make a code to, let's say, if it touches the cat, it should switch to the game over, because obviously the game dies, so the cat dies. So to forever, if touching cat flying, switch the wrong one. Switch the backdrop to game over and stop all. All right, cool. Now let's make another one saying that if the backdrop switches to round 2, and it's same code right there, just so it happens in both backgrounds. Now let's make a code to make our pipes move. All right, so let's go ahead and get a when flag is clicked, and we're going to make this repeat and repeat and repeat until it dies, right? So we're going to get repeat until touching cat flying. We'll get go to x maybe 180 and -51. Let's get switch costume to, we have to pick a random one because obviously we have loads of pipes. Pick random from 1 to 3 because we have 3 costumes. Then we're going to make a glide to our screen. So we're going to get glide maybe 1.9 just to make it a bit faster than 2. Oh wait, wrong one. Let's get 1.9 seconds to negative 250 and the white position that is currently in. And then we'll get wait 0 seconds. Alright, so we have finished the code for the pipes. So now we have finished the code for everything actually, and your game should be ready. So let's just save this and let's go full screen. And obviously I'm not so as you can see, we have our little game here. Let's see if I can get above 10 so that we switch successfully to round 2. And yeah, and if I die, okay, so now as we see, we notice a bug, and that's normal in games, right? So when let's get in pipes, when touching cat flying, or okay, have we done that? So the thing is it dropped to the ground, right? So if let's get wait, I'm sure we've done it. Okay, when flag clicked forever, if then let's say if the Y position equals negative 172, or let's get let's just do 172, then it should switch backdrop to game over and stop all. Okay, now let's test that, and as you can see, it works. So thank you everyone for coming to see this tutorial. Hope you all have enjoyed, and make sure to check out the GDC website, girlsdocode.net. We are trying to get more girls into technology fields and STEM fields, so please help us in the movement of girls empowerment. Thank you everyone. Bye bye.